The growing conflict between Israel and Iran is rapidly escalating, with June 2025 marking a pivotal moment in this ongoing confrontation. On June 13, 2025, Israel launched a large-scale attack codenamed Operation Rising Lion, targeting Iran's critical nuclear facilities, military installations, and high-ranking officials' residences. This action came after months of rising tensions, with both nations exchanging increasingly aggressive strikes. In retaliation, Iran launched missiles at Israel on June 14, 2025, killing civilians and triggering a series of military responses from Israel. By June 15, 2025, Israel had expanded its air campaign, hitting nuclear sites in Tehran, while Iran retaliated with ballistic missile strikes. Tensions further escalated when Hezbollah's involvement became a concern, with attacks from the Lebanese group pushing Israel closer to a wider escalation. As of June 16, 2025, Israeli officials, including IDF spokesperson Daniel Hagari, warned of the imminent risk of further regional destabilization. On June 17, the situation worsened, with Iran launching hypersonic missiles and Israel striking Iranian missile sites. International responses varied, with the United States, under President Donald Trump, demanding Iran's unconditional surrender, while global powers like France and Germany urged for de-escalation. Historically, the hostility between Israel and Iran dates back to the 1979 Islamic Revolution, which led to strained relations due to Iran's anti-Israel and anti-American sentiments. Throughout the years, there have been numerous confrontations, including Hamas operations and Iranian drone attacks in 2024, bringing the nations to the brink of all-out war. So, if the situation intensifies, which countries will back Israel in this confrontation? In this video, we examine the top 10 countries likely to support Israel in the event of further escalation. Number 10, France. France has been a longtime ally of Israel, supporting its right to self-defense and maintaining strong diplomatic and military ties with the Jewish state. France shares Israel's concerns about the Iranian nuclear threat and has consistently pushed for stronger sanctions on Iran. The two countries have cooperated on intelligence and counterterrorism operations, and France has provided military support in various forms over the years. Despite differences over some Israeli policies, such as settlements, France remains committed to Israel's security. Emotionally, France's Jewish community plays a significant role in strengthening ties with Israel. President Emmanuel Macron has repeatedly reaffirmed France's stance in support of Israel's right to defend itself. In 2025, France's unwavering position against Iran's growing influence in the region ensures its support for Israel in any conflict. The French government has vetoed several anti-Israel UN resolutions, consistently supporting Israel in global forum. Additionally, France's role in European defense initiatives makes it an important partner in any Israel-Iran confrontation, particularly if the conflict risks destabilizing the Mediterranean region. Number 9, Philippines. The Philippines has consistently supported Israel in various global conflicts. With a history of close ties to the United States, Israel's strongest ally, the Philippines, shares common values with Israel, such as democracy, freedom, and the right to self-defense. In the face of Iranian aggression, the Philippines is likely to align with Israel, both diplomatically and in terms of humanitarian aid. The Philippine government has been a staunch advocate for Palestinian rights, but simultaneously believes in Israel's right to defend itself against threats, particularly from Iran and its proxies. The Philippine military has cooperated with Israel in areas like counterterrorism and defense technology, and the two countries maintain growing trade relations. In 2025, with rising tensions in the Middle East, Philippine government has taken a pragmatic approach, aligning with Western powers like the United States in terms of global defense. The Philippines is highly dependent on U.S. support for regional stability, which includes defending Israel's sovereignty in the face of Iranian missile threats. Given these alliances, the Philippines will likely back Israel should tensions with Iran escalate. Number 8. Italy. Italy shares a long-standing partnership with Israel, particularly in the areas of defense, technology, and trade. Italy has consistently supported Israel's right to self-defense in the face of aggression, especially from Iran and its proxies. In the 2025 conflict, Italy is likely to back Israel for both strategic and moral reasons. Italy's commitment to Palestinian rights does not overshadow its belief in a two-state solution and Israel's security needs. The Italian government has condemned Iranian actions in the Middle East, particularly Iran's role in supporting groups like Hezbollah and Hamas, which pose a direct threat to Israel. Italy's foreign policy is firmly aligned with European Union standards, yet it recognizes the strategic importance of Israel as a democratic ally in the region. In 2025, Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has affirmed Italy's support for Israel amidst growing threats from Iran. Italy has been a significant military partner to Israel, contributing to NATO missions and global peacekeeping efforts. Italy's willingness to assist Israel with defense resources and intelligence sharing shows that in a heightened conflict with Iran, Italy would certainly be among Israel's most reliable supporters. Number 7, Germany. Germany is one of Israel's most trusted allies due to the historical responsibility it bears as the country that caused the Holocaust. Germany's support for Israel is deeply embedded in its foreign policy, and it remains unwavering in defending Israel's right to security. In 2025, Germany's backing of Israel is undisputed, especially considering the growing threats from Iran. Germany views Israel as a democratic beacon in the Middle East and has made it clear that it will defend Israel against any external threats, particularly from Iran and its allies. Germany has been instrumental in imposing sanctions on Iran and has worked alongside Israel on military defense technologies such as the Iron Dome. Emotionally, Germany's Jewish community has played a critical role in strengthening ties with Israel, with Germany's government pledging to never allow another Holocaust to occur. Chancellor Olaf Scholz has reiterated Germany's solidarity with Israel and denounced Iranian aggression, making it clear that Germany will support Israel if tensions with Iran escalate. Germany's role as a European leader in defense and diplomacy ensures it will continue to back Israel in any military conflict with Iran, ensuring a strong stance on global security. Number 6, India. India's relationship with Israel has evolved significantly over the past few decades. Since the 1990s, India has deepened its defense, technology, and intelligence ties with Israel. India's commitment to Israel's security stems from shared interests in counterterrorism, defense cooperation, and a strategic alignment in opposition to Iranian influence in the region. In 2025, India's support for Israel is rooted in its economic and technological partnerships, particularly in defense systems such as the Iron Dome and missile defense technology. India views Iran's nuclear ambitions as a direct threat to global peace and has been strongly critical of Iran's support for militant groups like Hamas and Hezbollah. Emotionally, India and Israel share a common enemy in Islamic extremism, and both countries have faced threats from hostile neighbors and non-state actors. India's growing relationship with Israel in the areas of trade and cybersecurity strengthens its stance as a key supporter of Israel. In 2025, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to continue advocating for Israel's defense while supporting Palestinian rights through peaceful dialogue and negotiation. Number 5, Greece. Greece's support for Israel has grown significantly in recent years, especially due to shared strategic interests in the Eastern Mediterranean. Greece views Israel as a critical partner in maintaining regional stability, particularly in the face of Turkey's growing influence in the region. The two nations have collaborated on energy security, military defense, and counter-terrorism efforts. In 2025, Greece continues to provide diplomatic and military support to Israel, particularly in the face of Iranian-backed forces in the region. Greece has also opposed Israeli boycott, divestment, and sanctions movements, emphasizing its belief that Israel has a right to defend itself against Iranian missiles and military threats. Emotionally, Greece's growing ties with Israel are influenced by both shared historical values and mutual security concerns. Greece sees Israel as a democratic ally in the Middle East and believes that a secure Israel is essential for the region's stability. In 2025, Greece remains a strong supporter of Israel, both diplomatically and militarily, due to its strategic and ideological alignment. With both nations facing challenges from Iran and its regional allies, Greece is committed to ensuring Israel's right to self-defense in the face of growing threats. Number 4, South Korea. South Korea has been a consistent supporter of Israel due to their shared values of democracy and strategic interests in countering North Korean aggression and Iranian influence. South Korea views Israel as a key partner in the fight against terrorism and the spread of nuclear weapons, especially in light of Iran's growing nuclear capability. In 2025, South Korea continues to work closely with Israel on military technology, counterterrorism efforts, and cybersecurity. The two countries have collaborated on missile defense systems, similar to those developed by Israel, to protect against North Korean missile threats. Now, emotionally, South Korea's support for Israel is partly motivated by a shared history of security threats. Both countries face existential threats from authoritarian regimes, with Israel's defense against Iran mirrored by South Korea's defense against North Korea. South Korea's position as the global technology hub and its strong ties with the United States ensure that it will continue to support Israel diplomatically and militarily. In 2025, South Korea remains a staunch ally of Israel, emphasizing the need for peaceful dialogue while firmly backing Israel's defense rights. Number 3, Australia. Australia's support for Israel is grounded in shared democratic values and the country's strong relationship with the United States. Australia has long backed Israel's right to defend itself, particularly against Iranian threats and Palestinian militancy. Australia has been one of Israel's most reliable allies in the Asia-Pacific region, offering military support, diplomatic backing, and humanitarian assistance. In 2025, Australia continues to support Israel in the face of escalating tensions with Iran, particularly in the form of intelligence sharing, counter-terrorism efforts, and military cooperation. The Australian government has condemned Iran's nuclear program and military actions against Israel, emphasizing the need for peaceful negotiations while ensuring Israel's security. Emotionally, Australia views Israel as a beacon of democracy in the Middle East and a partner in the fight against terrorism. Australia's support is also influenced by its strong Jewish community and the historical relationship between Australia and Israel. In 2025, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has reiterated Australia's commitment to Israel's security and its position against Iran's destabilizing actions in the region. Australia is likely to continue providing military support and diplomatic backing in any conflict between Israel and Iran. Number 2, United Kingdom. The United Kingdom has long been a strong ally of Israel, particularly since Israel's founding in 1948. The UK's support for Israel is rooted in both historical ties and strategic interests in the Middle East. In 2025, the UK continues to provide diplomatic support for Israel's defense, especially against Iranian-backed aggression and terrorist attacks. The UK government has historically supported Israel in global forums, often vetoing resolutions that would criticize Israel at the UN. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has emphasized the right of Israel to defend itself, particularly as Iran's missile capabilities and nuclear ambitions grow. Emotionally, the UK's support for Israel is deeply tied to the shared values of democracy and security. Britain's Jewish community has also played a significant role in strengthening these ties. The UK's support for Israel's security is based on the belief that Israel is a democratic ally in a volatile region. In 2025, the UK will likely continue to back Israel diplomatically, and in the event of any escalation between Israel and Iran, the UK will support Israel's right to defend itself against Iranian aggression, including military strikes and economic sanctions. Number 1, United States. The United States is Israel's strongest and most reliable ally, both militarily and diplomatically. The relationship between the two nations is grounded in shared democratic values and strategic cooperation, particularly in counter-terrorism and defense technology. Since Israel's founding in 1948, the U.S. has consistently provided financial aid, military assistance, and political backing to Israel. In 2025, the United States continues to unequivocally support Israel's right to defend itself against threats, particularly from Iran and its proxies. The U.S. has vetoed numerous UN resolutions that criticize Israel, often using its power at the Security Council to prevent any action against Israel. The U.S. commitment to Israel is rooted in both political and emotional factors, including the strong U.S. Jewish community and the strategic alliance between the two nations. The U.S. has provided $3 billion annually in military aid to Israel, ensuring that Israel maintains a technologically advanced military and missile defense systems like the Iron Dome. In 2025, President Joe Biden reaffirmed the United States' support for Israel, particularly as tensions with Iran continue to rise. The U.S. will continue to provide military aid, intelligence sharing, and economic support, ensuring that Israel remains a key partner in the fight against Iranian aggression. As Israel faces growing threats, these 10 countries will continue to back Israel in the event of further escalation with Iran. Their support stems from shared values, strategic alliances, and a commitment to Israel's security. Like, comment, and subscribe for more on this critical topic. See you next time.